suppose you could call this the Christmas Day Just a Thought. So it's only fitting that we make it a little more Christmassy in here. Got my Christmas lights on in the car. If I don't pay attention, I'll be driving through the back of that truck. So naturally, I'm not recording this on Christmas Day, but this is when some of you are going to watch this. And I thought on the way home, I'd just kind of reflect on Christmas. If you listen to the Quiet Life podcast, you heard enough ramblings about it. But, you know, one of the things that has convicted me through the years, maybe this is a personality quirk, maybe this is being in ministry, maybe someone in ministry can say, yeah, the same thing, or no, you missed it, is I spent a lot of Christmases as a dad and a husband not enjoying them, because you have all these things you have to do. They talk about Christmas season. You're like, no, it's a day. It's one day. There's not a Thanksgiving season, but we have a Christmas season. And you're like, no, it's a lot more than one day. I know from a church standpoint, we have like a ladies' tea, a ladies' dinner. We have a budget meeting. That's always fun. You have, school programs. You have, class parties. You have like all these things, and I'm not complaining about them. It's one thing after another that ultimately gets you to, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I know for me, I feel a whole lot better, usually, not always, but usually, when I drive out of the church parking lot on Christmas Eve. I think, we've made it. We can enjoy some family time now, because for a moment, at least in this season of life, for a moment, everything kind of quiets down a bit, and you can just be with your people, and so I've had these Christmas lights up in the car for, I don't know, a month or so. I don't turn them on very often, but every once in a while it's just nice to plug them in and lighten the mood a little bit. I feel the same way about Easter. Without Christmas and Easter, boy, we are in a bad way. But Easter, same thing. You have all these different expectations, not as much as Christmas, but from a church standpoint, it's quite a bit different. And people that visit on Christmas and Easter, and I know you're not supposed to say, they only come on Christmas and Easter, but we know that's what's going on. And I spent a lot of years as a children's pastor, and people would always think, boy, that guy's just grumpy. He's, well, you'd be in a church that have, 4, 5, 6, 7 services. You're like, that's great. Until you got to find volunteers for 4, 5, 6, 7 services, and you're like, I'm spent. You get home and you're like, I don't think I got nothing left. I taught the same lesson 7 times. We had 612 volunteers, and meanwhile everyone else is out in the lobby talking about how much fun it was. You're like, I'm done. My Fitbit has clocked out for the day. It says we can't do any more steps. But as I get older, I think, part of that's just life, and so hopefully on this Christmas Day, or maybe the day after, or the days after, you found better things to do than to listen to Just a Thought. But perhaps on this Christmas Day, you can pause long enough and just be thankful for the opportunity. I can remember being a kid, sitting on the floor, probably opening a gift or something to that effect, and thinking, well, you only get so many Christmases in life. I know that's not that profound, but it's true. You get a good number of Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we have our fair share of weekends and worship gatherings. Those are things that happen, if you're faithful, at least 52 times out of the year. But Christmas is different for a lot of reasons, and I know some of you will be around a lot of family, and some of you might be by yourself. I want you to know, and you're never by yourself. You're never by yourself. You might feel that way physically, or in your location, or that you're not with people that you planned on being with, or something happened. I'll tell you, for us, my wife's a teacher, and it seems like every year on that last day of school before, right at Christmas break, sickness strikes, whether it was kids in school, their parents just trying to stuff them in the school to get them through until the break happened, or you know, my wife just trying to hide the cough and sniffles or whatever it is. But I mean, it seems like it's just almost automatic. So again, it never really plays out the way that you think it's going to play out. But at the end of it all, man, you only get so many of them, and so you should enjoy it. You should remember the season. You should remember why this day exists, even though it's not on the day he was born. But who cares? I think Jesus is okay with us remembering him every day. And if we can go over the top a little bit, at least one day a year, I think he'll be all right with that. Hey, take time before you tear into all the packages or eat all the homemade pizza or whatever your thing is. Take some time and read Luke 2 as a family. That's something my wife has done incredibly through the last number of years. Especially, we have an Advent box with all these doors that open up. It's a lot of work on her part, man. The kids love it. But every time before they get in that Advent box, they have to recite Luke 2. And every time they have to go another verse till they get it all done. I think I've learned Luke 2 primarily because I've heard my kids say it every December for the last 8 years maybe. Read Luke 2. You know, read an Advent devotional. Do something that gets you right back where you need to be. And even, you know, again, if you're by yourself, hey, take some time. Put on that YouTube fireplace when you're done watching this. Put on that YouTube fireplace with some Christmas music and get out your Bible, make some coffee, and man, just quiet yourself, quiet your soul. It's good for you. Take advantage of it. Every day is a blessing. Every day is a gift, no question about it. And I don't believe the Lord wastes any days. But on this day, every year, it's just a little bit more special, don't you think? Men, I appreciate you guys. Just a thought. I'll talk to you in a bit.